Google Search used to be the undisputed king of the internet. It was quick, reliable, and above all, accurate. But now it's complete garbage. You can't find anything you're looking for, everything is buried below ads, and honestly, it was probably better in the 90s. Because it was. Because Google was literally invented to solve this very problem. Search engines back then were messy and often returned irrelevant or spammy results. Google introduced a solution, PageRank, that ranked pages based on the number and quality of links pointing to them, instead of a sponsored collage of content. This single-handedly killed the king of the internet at the time, Internet Explorer. And over time, Google refined its algorithms to include more advanced methods for ranking pages. Features like autocomplete, related searches, and Google Knowledge Graph enhanced the search experience. Google wasn't just a search engine, it was the face of the entire internet. But being the face of the internet isn't good enough. Google needed to make money. And what better way to make money than ads? Steadily, Google decided to experiment with this money machine, and now over 80% of Google's revenue comes from advertising. And honestly, it was genius. Google could now get a steady stream of money from advertisers paying to have their businesses appear at the top of search results. At first, this was like a clever little bonus, but over time, Google realized something. This was an infinite money glitch. The more ads Google served, the more revenue it generated. So why not just put one more ad, and another, and another? And as the ads started piling up, people started noticing. They found that the results they were looking for were often buried beneath a pile of irrelevant ads, making it harder to find accurate, organic content. The subtle shift didn't go unnoticed, and longtime users started to voice their frustrations. It wasn't just that ads were everywhere, it was that they were now so integrated into the search results that they almost seemed like a natural part of the page, leaving users to wonder if Google was still prioritizing the best information or just the most profitable clicks. It doesn't even stop at Google Search. Speaking of, thanks so much for all the support on the channel lately. It really means a lot, and I want to give something back to you guys. So do you need a job? That sounded a bit weird. But whether you're a UX designer, app developer, freelancer, or just a curious viewer, I want to get to know you guys, share some UX and UI tips, and maybe even get a gig. So I made a Discord channel for us and want to make this the place to be for front-end professionals. And I'm having talks with people to get some employers in there so you can connect with them too and find some jobs in the future. I'm really excited to get this thing started, so I hope you'll join me. YouTube search has had similar issues, with huge amounts of irrelevant content being piled up at the top of search queries. Nowadays, most people just take it for granted, but that's not how it's supposed to be. Even I find myself having to type the word Reddit behind every search query I put into Google because the actual results Google gives are just complete shit. This has led to a situation where for many searches, the top results are almost entirely paid content, and people are clicking on more and more irrelevant ads purely by accident just because they appear at the top of the page. It's ruining everything, and it's showing. A Google search for a query like best pizza in New York in the past would get you, well, websites that discussed what the best pizza in New York was. Now, the first few results are all ads, and the introduction of features like featured snippets, knowledge panels, and rich results has only made things worse. Let's talk about snippets and knowledge panels, which were supposed to make our lives easier. The idea? Give users quick answers to simple questions like, what's the capital of France? Without making them click on anything. Sounds great, right? But here's the catch. They've been accused of straight up stealing content from websites. Yes, you heard that right. In 2019, Genius, you know, the lyrics site, sued Google for allegedly copying lyrics from its website. And then there's Google's shiny new obsession, artificial intelligence. AI tools like RankBrain and BERT were introduced to make searches more personalized and context-aware. Sounds impressive, but let's be real. It's not working out as planned. On paper, AI should help Google understand complex queries better. In reality, it's like asking a friend for advice and getting a cryptic riddle instead. Worse, these AI-powered summaries often don't benefit the creators of the content they pull from. Google is learning from these sites for free, while the actual websites get nothing. So why doesn't Google fix this? Simple. Money. Google's main business isn't search, it's ads. Over 80% of Google's revenue comes from advertising. And you know what makes ads more lucrative? Showing more of them. The company has essentially turned its search results into an infinite money glitch. Stack a few more ads on top, blend them with the organic results, and voila! Profit. Remember when ads were clearly marked in bright yellow or pushed off to the side? Not anymore. Now, ads are camouflaged as regular results with just a tiny sponsored label. Search for something like best Bluetooth headphones, and the entire first page is basically one giant billboard. If you want actual unbiased information, good luck scrolling past all the ads and then past the low-quality SEO-optimized fluff that follows. Speaking of SEO, let's talk about how Google's algorithm has been gamed to death. Entire industries exist just to manipulate search rankings. Keyword stuffing, clickbait headlines, and irrelevant links have taken over, drowning out genuinely helpful content. Searching for thinnest mini fridge? Prepare to wade through ads, irrelevant results, and reviews for fridges that are wide, not thin. It's like Google isn't even trying anymore. So why doesn't Google care? Because it doesn't have to. With a near monopoly on the search engine market, the company isn't worried about competition. Sure, alternatives like Bing, DuckDuckGo, and Ecosia exist, but let's face it, they're barely scratching the surface of Google's dominance. Most people stick with Google because it's the default, and the default is always the path of least resistance. This whole mess boils down to something called incentification, when companies shift their priorities to chase profit. In its early days, Google was all about users. It built a great product, earned our trust, and became the face of the internet. But once it had us hooked, it pivoted to serving advertisers. Now, even advertisers are taking a backseat as Google optimizes for one thing and one thing only: its bottom line. Google Search has become a far cry from the reliable tool we once trusted. Now, just another corporate cash cow focused on revenue over user experience. To fight this slow descent into mediocrity, we can stop feeding the beast and try alternatives like DuckDuckGo, which, by the way, doesn't stalk you, or the Brave browser, which blocks ads by default. They may not be perfect, but at least they're not bombarding you with ads disguised as search results. It's like choosing a home-cooked meal over fast food. Not flashy, but better for you in the long run. On a bigger scale, there's growing chatter about giving Google a reality check. Regulators worldwide are poking around Google's business practices, with some even whispering the B word: breakup. Imagine splitting Google into smaller pieces to promote fair competition. It sounds ambitious, but hey, it's 2025. Wild things happen every day. In the end, Google's downfall comes down to an over-the-top love for ads, questionable AI decisions, and a business-first attitude that puts users last. They're still the king of search, but most popular doesn't always mean best. As users, we can stay aware, explore alternatives, and vote with our clicks, because if Google doesn't learn to balance profit with usefulness, they might just get dethroned. And honestly, that wouldn't be the worst thing.